Sam Altman, CEO of OpenAI, is actually reported to be in talks to raise as much as $5 to $7 trillion to dramatically increase the chip building capacity needed to power the AI revolution. The investors included in raising this money could include the United Arab Emirates government, according to reporting from the Wall Street Journal that outlined the beginnings of this project. Now, this comes after Altman was reportedly trying late last year to get OpenAI into the chip business, which is an effort that caused some controversy at OpenAI and is suspected, at least in part, to have motivated all the drama in the failed coup against Altman. Now, details are pretty scant at the moment, but this money supposedly would fund a project to boost the world's chip building capacity. And what's crazy about this is the numbers being talked about with the 5 to 7 trillion being raised would just dwarf the current size of the global chip industry. It is expected to be worth $1 trillion annually by 2030, according to estimates from the Wall Street Journal. So, Paul, why, first up, are we even talking about numbers of this size when it comes to chip making? Like, why is chip making so important to AI innovation and progress?
So all the generative AI capabilities that we're all experiencing today are powered by largely NVIDIA chips, which are made in Taiwan. So there's been certainly an effort in the United States, probably more broadly from a global perspective, to diversify and expand the chip industry. So it's not centered in a single country. There's more, volume, more innovation happening outside of the fabrication plants in Taiwan. So there's a much bigger story there, but like this kind of money, it's not just chips. Like they're looking at basically what Sam is doing is they're looking out ahead and saying, okay, in 7 to 10 years to do what we're envisioning at OpenAI, whatever it is that their long-term vision believes AI is going to be capable of. They're obviously envisioning a world where we need way more ability to build chips. We need significantly greater clean energy, and we need a lot more data centers, and in addition to everything else, in addition to the talent that's able to build and enable these advancements. So he tweeted the afternoon before the Wall Street Journal article came out. So obviously he was aware this article was coming. I'm sure they, checked with them to verify information and things. So he did sort of pre-tweet the article and said, we believe the world needs more AI infrastructure, fab capacity, energy, data centers, etc., than people are currently planning to build. Building massive scale AI infrastructure and a resilient supply chain is crucial to economic competitiveness. OpenAI will try to help. So again, we don't know much. They haven't, confirmed these kinds of details or these numbers. But the three things that I observed when I read this was, one, I would assume these efforts may have something to do with his temporary ouster for sure. If this was all happening under the OpenAI nonprofit umbrella, so if Sam was actively going out and talking to people about this kind of raise to do this rapid acceleration, and he wasn't disclosing those conversations to the board, that could certainly be perceived as a pretty significant deviation from their original nonprofit charter and mission. So again, not 100% verified anywhere, but you can kind of connect some dots here that is likely, at least has some part in that. The second is, as we have said many, many times, the AI you see and use today is the least capable we will ever have in human history. OpenAI appears to believe, as do many others, that we have not hit a ceiling, going back to Ethan Mollick's, possible reasons why Gemini Advanced isn't more powerful than GPT-4. We have not hit a ceiling for what these models can do. They appear to still be following scaling laws that if you throw more data and more energy capacity and more chips or computing power, maybe with the scientific breakthrough too, that we can certainly enter the realm of general intelligence and maybe even super intelligence. That if we just keep powering through this and grinding and putting more compute power, more energy, that we're going to build much more intelligent AI. And then the third is just the importance of understanding the chip industry. Again, if you've invested in or followed NVIDIA for the last, few years, you have certainly seen a rapid acceleration in their market cap and value of that stock. This is why it is powering the entire, AI age that we are experiencing. So I would suggest there to read Chip War by Chris Miller. It's a phenomenal book. Once I read it, I had a totally different perspective on the geopolitical climate, as well as the complexity of doing this. It's like, well, let's just build some fabrication plants in the US. How is this so hard? And you realize how much engineering and what kind of advanced talent is needed to
Mm.
build and maintain these fabrication facilities. It's truly some of the most advanced science that we've achieved in human history. So it's not like you can just pick a plot of land and build one of these things. So yeah, it's just, it's a really important topic, and I think we'll probably talk more about it moving forward. But the main point here is you need to be paying attention to this. Whether or not OpenAI raises 5 to 7 trillion, who knows? I mean, it's such an absurd thing to even consider being reality. I wouldn't put anything past Sam, but it's more of the idea that they're thinking this big and they're thinking this long term that I believe is worth paying attention to.